Hi everyone and welcome along to the Friday Quick Fix. I've been so enjoying getting back to basics with you with some painting techniques and tutorials over the past weeks, and today we're going to do another one focusing on my prized tomatoes growing in the greenhouse right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to use them as our topic to try out different colours as a cool or warm wash painted underneath, just so you can see how amazing the effect is when you put down a colour underneath your topic, to just see if you really want to sort of change the atmosphere of a piece, if you want it all warm and sunny and bathed in light, or maybe something a little bit cooler and atmospheric. So grab your paints and let's get started. Right, so I'm going to draw a vine with loads of tomatoes on it. And I'll do some leaves, and I just want to get a real sense of an abundant load of tomatoes on this vine. I mean, my tomatoes are looking pretty good, but they're not quite as abundant as this. So we'll do so from each line, just come out like that, and you could either do it so you can sort of see the back of the sort of the base of the tomato like that, or you might see it so the vine comes right over the front and you see the top like that. I have just rubbed it faintly out with putty rubber, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a bit of masking tape or washi tape, and I'm going to place that just slightly right of centre, so that that line sort of lines up with centre, and I'm going to paint a wash of very dilute cadmium yellow. So I'm just getting that mixed up in my palette on this side of the piece. I'm going to let that dry 100%, then I'm going to peel it off and do a wash of blue on the other side. Right, so that's dried. I've moved the masking tape to now be over that side, and I'm going to take some French ultramarine blue, nice and dilute. Really try and make sure that's nice fixed down, and we'll paint in a wash on this side. So it needs to be dry 100% before you start painting, and then you can just paint as normal. So I'm using cadmium red here, and I'm painting it quite sort of, it's not sort of dilute as such, but it's not a thick, heavy concentration of paint, because what I want to do is be able to make the most of having some shiny highlights on the tomatoes, which is also just going to convey the effect of how a wash can determine the mood of a piece. So just enjoy filling it in and creating a really nice piece whilst you're also learning something. I've also got, woken up for my tomatoes, some Pyrrol orange and some alizarin crimson, so just pop in a little bit of that underneath. quite fun. And then a little bit of the orange around the corner as well. So even with putting in colours on top, which might be warm or cool, you're still getting an impact from the wash from underneath. So I've painted in a few on that side, and now let's paint in a few on the yellow side and just get a feeling for what it does to the mood of the painting. So consider this in terms of how you could affect a landscape, how you could use the colours to sort of create the sky tones, the overall atmosphere of a piece. It's really very impactful. And of course it's always easier if you feel a bit intimidated by tackling the tomatoes with the stalks on top. You could just get it so that they were angled so that the stalk was on the far side. So they look so different, really, so different in terms of vibrance and colour, but I promise you they've been painted in exactly the same way on both sides. So there are our tomatoes painted, and you can see how particularly the orange tones on the yellow wash really glow, whereas you see more of the alizarin crimson and just the general tone is cooler on that right side with the blue wash. So let's see what happens when we add in green. I've got green gold here, and what I'm expecting to happen is there to be a really particularly vibrant feel on this side with that green gold. Now what I will say is I've talked about how we've got a warm colour on the warm side and cool colour on the cool side, but remember both have both warm colours and cool colours, so it's not like I've just put warm things on the warm side and cool on the cool side. It really does make an amazing difference. I probably need a larger brush. Here we go. But of course one of the brilliances of watercolour is that it's got this wonderful transparent quality overall, meaning that however you sort of layer up your colours and choose tones to put in, there's always going to be a wonderful nuance in tone and colour, because little elements will be able to creep through. So I'm putting this sap green over the top of these leaves right now, but the green gold is very much creeping in and lurking underneath, just in exactly the same way as the yellow wash is doing underneath. So I thought what I'd do is I'd leave one cool one for you here. Paint it in green gold first. And then one warm one up here as well as that leaf stem. And then a little bit of sap green. Okay, so there we can see how the wash of the warm yellow colour really does bring out the sun-drenched juiciness of the tomatoes, whereas the blue wash brings out all the cool tones and really makes them a much more sort of berry kind of colour, the pinks, the cool pinks rather than the warm oranges. I hope that's been really useful and is something that you might be able to use in all sorts of paintings going forward. But yeah, using that underpainting technique is amazing in how it can really change the mood of a piece. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!